Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way for your 5 talking points for the 3-0 defeat in the Manchester Derby. Unfortunately, against Manchester City in the Manchester Derby. This has been recorded a few hours after the Manchester Derby, so excuse the sad-looking face. Again, as we know, Manchester City travelled to Old Trafford and beat Manchester United. I wouldn't even say in style because he didn't have to break a sweat for the 3 goals he got. But again, this is probably going to be short and sweet. Probably a few rants in there. No, I say that. But yeah, before we get stuck in, obviously this is being pre-recorded. This will be put out on a Monday morning. So again, hope you've settled well. Again, what I always do with the 5 talking points video, I'll talk a minute about my thoughts on the game, talk about the full-time score and stats, and then we jump into the 5 talking points. And yeah, basically, I just like to get it done. I actually wanted to do this because, just a lot to talk about, and I feel like this video is not the right time to talk about what I want to say. Again, it's not about me, it's about the club, in case I was like, damn, where you going? I'm not going anywhere, it's about the club. Again, just to throw it up onto the screen, just to confirm, unfortunately, I don't want to remind myself, but it is what it is. Manchester United lost by 3-0 against Manchester City. Obviously, Haaland scored in the first half from the penalty spot. Was it a penalty? Pretty soft, in my opinion. But sure, look, nothing we can do. And then he scored. Then Haaland scored early on in the second half, and then Phil Foden put the ball in the back of the net, Manchester City, to pretty much end the game if it wasn't already over by the third goal. So again, 1 minute about my thoughts on the game. Quick, 40 seconds now. I just want to say it was disgraceful for Manchester United. In the second half, especially in the first half, I thought we held out. I thought we were doing reasonably sound. And then I don't know what happened. I just don't know what happened in the second half. Manchester United just looked deflated. I know in the first half we didn't do so great either, but we were hanging on in there, and that's all we wanted. We were, of course, I was going to that game thinking we can get a win. I always go into games thinking Manchester United can get a win. Even if I predict a loss, I still think that we can get a win. Ten Hag, Rashford, the defence, the midfield, the attacking line. The only player who can come off that pitch with his head held high is Onana, because without him, we probably would have been more than 3-0 City. So we have to be, we can't be, forgiven because we lost. Unfortunately, but I'm just so delighted that game is over. I really, really am. I'm so happy that game is over. I remember doing the watch along. Check it out if you haven't. Probably no point checking it out, but check it out if you haven't already to check out my reactions and all that stuff. The first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the game was actually funny. It was exciting because we had a few chances here and there. But again, I don't want to talk too much about what I thought in the game because it'll ruin the 5 talking points. But here it is. Again, let us know your thoughts on the game. Let us know your 5 talking points. Obviously, it's a 5 talking points video. It's not a talking points or anything like that. So if I am missing out 5 talking points, I do apologise. But honestly, these 5 talking points are just the ones that I look at and think, yeah, they're reasonably 5 talking points. If there was a 10 talking points show, trust me, I'd have another 5. But here we go. So here is your stats for the Manchester Derby. Again, one-sided as predicted. I don't think we have anything there to maybe say, oh, well, we won on that. We didn't. But anyway, so I'll go through it anyway. So Manchester United had 7 shots to Manchester City's 21. Manchester United had 3 shots on target to Manchester City's 10. We had a possession of 39.5% to Manchester City 60.5%. The XG was Manchester United 0.95 to Manchester City's 4.00. Disgraceful of Manchester United. Aerial duels, Manchester United 38.9% to Manchester City 61.1%. Manchester United made 391 passes to Manchester City 605. We at Manchester United 3 shots off target, Manchester City's 6 shots on target. So I just want to look at the possession, especially. The possession. Ever since Ten Hag came in, seen it last season a few times when we faced the big teams, especially Manchester City. Not so much against Liverpool, but we still had to do what we could do. We done it against Arsenal in some games as well. But we won games last season. Again, we won a game we beat Man City last season at Old Trafford, and it was City had literally all the possession and we didn't. Why? Because I don't like the football we play. I just don't like sitting back on the counter attack. But unfortunately, it is what it is at this moment in time. I really can't wait for the day we can actually play good classic football like Manchester City, like Arsenal, like Tottenham. Whoever thought I'd say that? They're not a banter club as of now. On their range. But yeah, that is the stats. The shots are disgraceful. The shots on target are disgraceful. For Manchester United, the possession is disgraceful. The XG is disgraceful. The aerial duels is disgraceful. I remember reading out the stats at half time, and we actually won more aerial duels. That says aerial duels, so I apologise for that one. The passes and the shots off target. I mean, yeah, that's probably what we could be proud of. But let us know your thoughts on the stats. My opinion, disgraceful. Yeah, let's jump into our 5 talking points for the game against Manchester City. Here we go. Again, you might disagree, but it's the point of having a fan channel. So, throw your opinion across. There's no hard feelings from either end. So talking point number 1, in my opinion, is defensive shambles. Now, again, you look at the starting 11, we had Onana in there, a back 4 of Lindelof left back, Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, and Diogo Dalot. We had Sofian Amrabat, Christian Eriksen, and Scott McTominay. It was a 4-1-4-1, so we had Amrabat, and then we had Rashford, Eriksen, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, and Rasmus Højlund up top. That was what we went with. Obviously, I looked like more of a 5 when City had the ball, and then when we went into attack mode, then I went to the 4-1-4-1, which the defence was too slow. All right, Maguire didn't do too bad again tonight, but we conceded 3, so we didn't do spectacular. It was again that we were looking at saying, right, Maguire, you're showing us what you can do against such, the lower class teams. What can you do against Manchester City? Maybe if Maguire had a Rafael Varane beside him, no disrespect to Johnny Evans or even Victor Lindelof, but even if you had Lindelof beside him, it could have been different. It couldn't have not been different. You could have had a Leach beside him, and who knows? It's the name of the game. It's just, it was too slow. And all right, Manchester City didn't get us on the counter attack because why? Because let's be honest, the City players, when we had the ball, the City players didn't track back. They didn't track back. There was none of that tracking back kind of stuff. None of that. No. When we had the ball, they had the usual. When we had the ball up their end, there was no Haaland coming back or Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, Julian Alvarez. Haaland obviously just tracked back a few times, but that was when the ball was on the halfway line. There was no going back since then. But you look, they were going with, when we had the ball, it was in position. Walker, Diaz, Vardiol, Rodri, and John Stones. You may see an attacking player get back in there, 1 or 2, but that was all, not the whole team. But when we got the ball, when they had the ball, everyone got back. I thought we'd have Højlund on the halfway line, just running back and forwards. Didn't do too well backing into Diaz, but he didn't do great today either. But that's just, we have, again, I know Ten Hag probably we didn't have any. We had no decision to play the defence he did because we seen an hour or two before the teams were announced. The Manchester United team was announced that there was concerns over the fitness of Serge Reguilon and Raphael Varane. Obviously, Reguilon came on in the last half hour, 20 minutes or so. And Varane obviously didn't come on. So obviously, it's a bit weird. I always think if you're fit enough to make the bench, you should be fit enough to start. We should not have had Varane on the bench if he wasn't fit to come on. That's just my opinion. Casemiro wasn't 100% fit. We didn't bring him. Why are we bringing Varane? I feel like we just do it to cover up numbers. I feel like if we had depth, Varane wouldn't have been at that game today alongside Serge Reguilon and Casemiro. I really, really don't. But going with a back four of Lindelof, Harry Maguire, Slabhead Harry, Johnny Evans, and Dalot, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Dalot, right back, fair enough. But the other three, come on, Maguire didn't do too shabby, but still, he didn't do great. It's honestly ridiculous, in my opinion, and it's something we have to work on. It's why we need squad depth. It's why we need squad depth, and it's why my last talking point is going to bring me on to, why. I'm going to ask why, but it has to work, because if this was, if City went with their quickest players, Doku, Foden, Haaland, they were going to beat us in the counter attack. They would have annihilated us, but they didn't have to. City got us on the flanks. That's how they scored their goals. They beat us on the flanks, and that was all they needed because our defense was strong. It was big. It was tall. You weren't going to break them down, but if you run towards them, they're not going to go forward. They were going to run back. And Maguire, in fairness, he got the ball. He wasn't just tracking back. He was shouting. He was getting to his marker. He was running to Foden. He was running to Princess Jack. He was doing all that kind of stuff. Again, even though City beat us, I still going to call him Princess Jack Grealish. But let us know what you think of Manchester United's defence. It's a shambles. It really, really is a shambles. And it's something we have to work on. If we're actually a proper team, maybe in the January transfer window, look at Taribo or someone. Diamande. Someone, please. Manchester, just come on. Talking point number 2 is we're not finishing our chances. We're not finishing our dinner. We are not finishing our dinner. We had chances yesterday. And the first few minutes, McTominay, Hoyland, Bruno, Rashford, McTominay before the break. Rashford had the chance in the second half when we were 2-0 down. Any of those chances go in. Turn the screw. Old Trafford's on its feet. The players are up for it. We go. Our heads went down after the penalty. After City scored the penalty. They don't get that penalty. Do we lose by such many goals? Do we? Do we? You know what I mean? Do we? It's just, I know, I sound like a bit of a moan bag, but it's just worrying at the moment when, we're having these chances. And this is our attacking line, by the way. This is our best attack. It's the only part of the field that has players fully fit. You have Rashford, you have Garnacho. All right, Ahmad is out. That's fair enough. You have Pellistri, Anthony, Martial, Rasmus Højlund. Did I mention Garnacho and Pellistri? I think I did. That's it. That's it. Amad Diallo was the only player that's out. That's it. There's no one else but that. That's all it is. And it's concerning when you're coming up against the big teams. We have Newcastle United next. They're going to look at that. And they're going to be like, let's hit on it. You know what I mean? And these are a team that beat Man City in the Carabao Cup. Wasn't City's full team, but still, they beat Man City. I'm saying I'm delighted it's at Old Trafford. It could be anywhere now. It could be in my back garden. We could have no Newcastle fans allowed, and I'd still be like, I'd still be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? That's literally how I feel at the moment. But yeah, if we don't finish that chances quickly, like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And this brings me on to the third talking point. Rashford again was poor today. And by the way, Højlund hasn't scored in the Premier League yet. Bruno hasn't scored for us yet in the Premier. No, we did. He did. But in our previous games, since the Nottingham Forest game, there hasn't been many of our attacking players scoring goals, which is very, very, very concerning. So yeah, that just goes to tell you how much is needed to change with the players. Ten Hag, come on, son. Come on, Baldy. Rub the head of yours, Baldy head of yours, rub a yoke and get us back to some sort of good football again. But yeah, no, Marcus Rashford, like I said, he was very, very poor against Manchester City yesterday in the Carabao Cup, in the Premier League. Kyle Walker, honestly, I hate him, but easy work for him. It was easy work for Kyle Walker. Easy work for Kyle Walker today. Yesterday, sorry. Rashford, he's not going in for challenges. He's too slow with the ball. When he's on the counter attack, he's running. You're like, Rashford, and then he just goes and does something totally stupid, and you're like, why? Now, I like Marcus Rashford. I really, really do. But he's been crap this season. Like, there's no being around the bush. Rashford's been crap. You'll probably find when we played likes of Luton Town, he played like Cristiano Ronaldo because it's Luton Town. Like, let's be honest. And I'm going to that game. And I really hope he gets the job done. Because if he don't, Manchester United can do two things. F off. That's what they can do. He's not, when his ball's up in the air, when the ball is up in the air, Rashford's just looking at it. He's not jumping up for it. He's not getting stuck in. He has to get stuck in. He's a Mancunian. Born and red. He literally is a young lad who has a dream to play for Manchester United. Any Manchester United fan, including me, would love to be on that pitch. You give me 5 minutes on that pitch, I'm going to try and do what I can. I'm going to get stuck in. If I get sent off, I can say, well, listen, at least I got stuck in. I've done what I had to do. I've done my job. Thanks very much. I'm off for a cup of tea. That's all. But we're not doing that. And he's just so slow, and he's so unpredictable, and it's not the good kind. Usually, he's so unpredictable. You don't know what he's going to do next. But Rashford, we say he's predictable, but he's also unpredictable. The unpredictable part is not the good part. The predictable part is the good part for the opposition. Rashford last season, as soon as he got the ball, every shot he made, he looked so confident. He was getting stuck in, never put a foot wrong. This season, is his name Marcus Rashford or Rashford Marcus? Harcus Marshford. Daniel James, for crying out loud. Probably could do a better job. I mean, it's ridiculous. Well, how it is at the moment. Would I drop him for the game against Newcastle? Yes. I would. Ten Hag, if you don't drop him, if you don't drop players like Rashford and the Brunos, you will get sacked. You're asking to get sacked. You're basically throwing your P45 in and just hoping the owner sees it. But the problem is, Ten Hag won't get sacked. I tell you what. Because Ratcliffe will come in, and then it'll be up to Ratcliffe. So, Rashford for me, very poor. And I'm worried. I am worried. I'm not going as far to say, get him gone, dude. He has to work on his game. badly. And if he doesn't, Manchester United fans will basically turn on him. We've seen it before, and we'll see it again if it has to happen. So that's just what I think. But what do you think of Marcus Rashford? I just think he wasn't going into any he's not going into any challenges. He's not doing much with the ball. When he gets it, he just looks like he wants to give it away. He was making runs today, and I was like, Rashford, where are you going? Where are you going? But yeah, a player who, like I said at the start of the stream, who should kind of live with the head held high, some sort, is Onana. He saved us from getting absolutely annihilated today. Yes, we lost 3-0. Yes, his kind of his how do I say, his wrists? His wrists kind of seem a bit like they're like jelly. When you hit it, it's just gone. That's all it is. Not Marcus Rashford. Onana said this a few times today. You know what I mean? And Harry Maguire at the start of the game, when Haaland had a chance, Onana saved, and then when Haaland was going for the ball, he slapped it down, and then Maguire just said, "Get that gone, get it out of here. Don't want to see it again." So, and we did say the first 20 minutes will describe how the game will go. The first 5 minutes we were good, and then after that 5 minutes spell, we were just gone. City settled, got into the rhythm, boom. But Onana, you have to give it to him. He made a few decent saves today. Again, it's not a major talking point, but it's a talking point I wanted to talk about. So, I just think he should. Again, when I say he shook him off the pitch with his head held high, he was the only one that showed a bit of dedication, a bit of passion. He was doing all sorts of shouting. He definitely had his Weetabix, but he's a goalkeeper. He wasn't a defender. He wasn't a midfielder. He wasn't a striker. He was a goalkeeper. And that's all he can do is save goals. He can't score them. He can have maybe a contribution to them, but he can't score them. So, honestly, like I said in the watch-along, he was my man of the match. Really, really was. And yeah, I just don't know what to say about it all. But without him on that pitch today, we get slapped with more than 3-0. That's all I say. But it's a bit worrying saying your goalkeeper man. I've never found it giving me goalkeeper man the match when you lose 3-0, but that just goes to show how shit we were and how much we needed him to save us, and he did. He did. He saved us a few good times today. And I can name you them all if you want, but I'm not going to because I'm sure you know the exact ones. But that's talking point number 4. Last talking point, I feel like I'll go on for a few minutes. A bit of emotional talking point, this in my opinion, because I never thought I'd say this. But Ten Hag mistakes. Ten Hag mistakes. Again, not just this game. He made mistakes. And I'll be honest, I'm very stupid enough to try and ignore them because I don't want them to go. As stupid as it sounds, I'm still Ten Hag in. I'm not Ten Hag out. It's as simple as. But just on this game especially, he made mistakes. And again, I said it in the preview on Friday. Please don't go back and look at the preview. Just please. I'll end up getting clipped. I'll be on socials there. I said Ten Hag is never going to drop Marcus Rashford. He's never. There was times last season where, you'd find in games, you'd start Garnacho and have Rashford on the bench. And that's when he was playing well, Marcus Rashford. And now Rashford is playing crap. You're not dropping him. He's taking him off with 5 minutes to spare when it's too late, when you're losing. When it's too late then. It's you know what it's like at Manchester United, right? It's like they don't leave Old Trafford. It's like they just stay there. And it's just like, instead of it, it's just like a line, and then it's just going down, and then it may go up, and then it go down. It's honestly so ridiculous, and it makes you want to kill them. You know what I mean? I always say, Ten Hag he's too stubborn, and he's making too many mistakes. And we've seen this with Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, David Moyes, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they made mistakes. They were too stubborn. They had their favourites. And what happened? Results weren't going their way. Fans were like, I want you out. Sacked. Gone. There's a pattern here. But us fans, like myself, think, no, it's Ten Hag. He's got he come in here. He's a manager. He wants the best out of the players. And you know, it's just like we're not getting the best out of the players so far. Like last season, it was a honeymoon period. You've had it under recent managers. You had it under Solskjaer, Mourinho, Van Gaal. You know, that's what it was. And I hope Ten Hag can turn this around because I don't want them to go. I can't see who replace him. If he ever did let him go, I'd look at Zinedine Zidane, but you have to pay big bucks, and I don't think he wants another job in England. But you never know. Listen, if results keep going the way they are, and performances, he will get sacked, in my opinion. But I don't think the Glazers will sack him just if it's going on with the ownership. So we could literally have Ten Hag here for another season, for the rest of this season until Ratcliffe comes in. But if there was no club up for sale, and we were just Glazers were still in charge, no Ratcliffe or whatever, none of that ownership shebang that was never to be seen, never to be heard, I bet you Ten Hag, this would be kind of the night where you'd be looking at seeing, right, what's happening here. That's literally what it is. I don't blame the manager. I just think Manchester United aren't Manchester United anymore. We're not the team we think we are. We're not the team we used to be. We're not up to the heights we can be if we put our head to it, and whoever the owners are can actually help and do whatever. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. I know people can look at it and say, yeah, but Luke Shaw needs to come back, Wan-Bissaka, Leach, Casemiro, so on and so forth. Yeah, okay, agreed. Maybe if they come back, we do well. But so far, it's not good for Manchester United. But Ten Hag, like I said, if he keeps making the mistakes, he has to take the blame. He has to put up his hand and say, listen, right, I'll admit I'm making mistakes. I need to work on it, and I promise I will. Instead, he's doing press conferences saying, yeah, but I thought we played well. I thought he was good. Ten Hag has to go into that dressing room after the game and give them a bollock and say, lads, what the hell? Like, he's playing players who aren't playing well. Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes. He's playing players who are not playing well. McTominay is a bit of a weird player. Yeah, he might be on good form recently, but that's McTominay. That's the McTominay you see now. It's the McTominay you're gonna get. He's not gonna get any higher. You can get lower if you want him, but that's it. Here's the McTominay standards. He gets to it, but he goes back down. It doesn't go up. He gets back down. He tries to, but it's like, no, McTominay, you're here. You try too hard and you'll be shit. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous what he's doing. And I back him, and I hope he can turn it around, but who knows? But that has been the 5 talking points for the Manchester United versus Manchester City game. Obviously, we lost 3-0, just to remind you. Thanks everybody for watching. Obviously, we play Newcastle in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday at Old Trafford, so there will be a watch along. There'll be a preview out on Tuesday and a watch along out on. Oh, the preview might be out. Yeah, preview out on Tuesday, watch along on Wednesday. So yeah, check out for between Monday and Tuesday to check the preview, because it could be out Monday or Tuesday. But thanks everybody for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe button. Let us know what your 5 talking points are for the match. Let you know what you think of my talking points and what I said, and do you agree? Thanks, buddy, for watching, and I'll speak to you all on the next one. Bye-bye for now.